So many people around the world are taking their kids out of public or private school and deciding to homeschool. And they do this for various reasons. Everybody's reasons are different. Maybe they're looking for a slower pace. Maybe they want their kid to be able to move at a faster or slower pace. Maybe they want their kids to have more time for activities, to explore more of their personal interests, for more family time, to really get your values instilled into your kids, to avoid peer pressure, bullying, avoid mental illness. There are so many reasons to homeschool. But is it worth the hype? Now, I can't answer that question for everybody, but I am a couple months into our first year of homeschooling. My 3 daughters, ages 6, 4, and 1. And while this video obviously isn't going to be my answer in a couple years, I just thought it would be fun to check in with you guys. I know a lot of you guys who are already my subscribers have been following closely on this journey and want to know how it's going. So this video will be interesting for those of you who just are curious how it's going for us, but also for those of you who are new to homeschooling. I'm going to share what we are loving, what we are hating or not loving, and what we are going to do about it in the future to improve our own homeschool experience. And I hope that some of these can help you avoid some of the pitfalls that we have fallen into just a couple months into homeschooling. So let's start with what we are loving, because there are a lot of things. Number one, the biggest thing I am loving, my family is loving, is just the freedom. Now, to go back, I used to do daycare. Ever since my first baby was born, I was working after my maternity leave. So I nannied full-time, more than full-time, and then I opened a daycare that I ran for 50+ hours a week. Then I built this business in my side hours and early mornings and things like that. So I've always been a working mom, but I've always pretty much been working from home with my kids. So while it sounds like that might be a lot of freedom, I was very tied to my house, especially with daycare. I didn't have a vehicle that could transport the kids, so the most we would do in the summer is walk a block away to the park. But we did go to a zoo with a group of daycares on a bus a couple times, but that was like over 5 years that we did it a couple times. So we were very much tied to our house, and so this whole experience of now being able to like go whenever we want, run to Target, go on field trips, go to doctor appointments, and I don't have to like consult anyone or really plan out how it's all gonna work and leave notes and things for other people. It's just been revolutionary for our family. I've just never lived in a place as a mom where that was our reality. So that's been a huge gift for sure. I just feel so excited that we are finally in charge of our own time and our own experiences as a family unit, and we don't have anybody that we have to work around their schedule with. So that's been huge for us, and I really love that now we don't have to cram things into our evenings. We still are involved in a couple things, but we can plan them now at earlier times, especially like dance classes and stuff. We don't have to do it at like 6 o'clock. We can do it at like 3:30 or 4 if they offer that, which has been really nice to just have a lot more relaxed evenings for our whole family. The second most amazing part of homeschooling for us has been the family time. My husband is a chef at a hotel. He works insane hours, 60, 70-hour weeks lately, 6-7 days a week, often like 12, 14-day stretches, many hours each day. And there have been stretches where my girls have not seen him for a few days just because he's working so much and he's leaving before they wake up and getting home after they go to bed. So this has been honestly just wonderful. The days he is off, we don't have any other kids here that we have to take care of. We don't have my oldest going to public school. She's home with us. We're all getting time, and so we can say no to homeschooling that day or just fit it in different pockets of the day so that we can go do things as a family and really build those relationships, because that is seriously so important to all of us in our family, that we get time together. And so that's been a huge blessing, just having, whenever he's off or if he works later in the day, my oldest isn't going off to school at 7:30 in the morning, we have all that time with him. And also the time we have is better because she's not, you know, just totally worn out by the end of the day most days like she was when she was in school. So the time we have together is a lot more quality time, I would say. And then of course the curriculum. I know a lot of you who clicked on this video are probably wondering how we're liking the curriculum we chose. We chose a few different ones. So we are doing the Heart of Dakota, Little Hearts for His Glory for ages 5 to 7, which I'm doing with both my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old because I'm reading the stories to both of them. We're doing the history together. My 7-year-old, I'm caring more if she's comprehending and internalizing everything, but my 4-year-old is still very much a part of it. She's around us, she's doing it, so we have been loving it. I love how open and go it is. I love how simple it is and that we don't need lots of extra things. We can just open it up, go. It's not too complicated. It's very easy to follow. It's all on a 2-page spread. It's just a wonderful way of incorporating the Bible with history, and I mean, you're incorporating the Bible with everything, which I really, really love. It's just a beautiful curriculum, very gentle, very Charlotte Mason, and it's just worked really, really well for our family. I absolutely love it. I have no negatives about it at all. And then we are also using the Good and the Beautiful for language, arts, and math. We are loving the math. My 6-year-old loves the math. I also bought the preschool for my 4-year-old, which we're just kind of filling in whenever she feels up to it. She's also doing preschool 2 days a week outside the home, which I will talk about later in this video, but mainly we're focusing on my 6-year-old because I'm not doing a ton of formal stuff with my 4-year-old because I really want her to just play and have fun. So my 6-year-old loves the math. The Good and the Beautiful recently redid their whole math program and we love it. I had never done their old math program, but this one is amazing. It's got manipulatives. It's all very real world math learning. So we're learning how to buy things and how to count out money and how to tally, and you know, it's just amazing, and it's so beautiful. And she's really, like, I always let her pick what she wants to do first for her, like, one-on-one work with me, and she always picks math first because she loves it. So we absolutely love that. I like the language arts program. She's not a huge fan, but I don't know if it's because of the actual curriculum or she's just not a huge fan of learning to read because it's difficult, you know. You have to take time to really sound out the words, and I think math just comes more easily to her right now. But I do really like their curriculum so far. I think it's very easy to use. I love that there's picture studies in it. I love that there's lots of books that come with it, so I don't have to supply a ton of early readers for her. And I just think, you know, like the math, it's beautiful, it's easy to use, open and go, and very simple. And then our last curriculum choice is classical conversation. So we basically are trying out classical conversations and Heart of Dakota to see what we like more as like our main curriculum. And I'm still really torn. I didn't expect to love everything so much, which is really, really hard. I think for the younger ages, you can do CC, classical conversations, with other curriculums, but once they get to the essentials level, I think it gets a lot harder because they're doing a lot more for that. Whereas with right now just the foundations curriculum, it's a lot of memory work, and then it's okay if you don't do that a lot. Like, it's okay if you're not really fitting that into your day and building a curriculum around it. So it's been very easy to balance Heart of Dakota with classical conversations. I just really fit in classical conversations, like we'll listen to some audiobooks in the car, we'll listen to the timeline song and things like that, but we're not like trying to really memorize everything. I'm okay with that because I don't really even know if we're going to continue long term. The hardest part has been I just love the community days. My girls love it. I love it. Our community is amazing. Like, the other parents are phenomenal. The classes are phenomenal. My daughter is making great friendships, and so that's where I'm really torn because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that approach long term. I see the benefits, but I also am very like Charlotte Mason and more exploratory and that kind of thing, at least right now. So I can see us doing CC for a few years. I really want to see more of what the essentials actually do in the afternoons when they stay on the community days and see what that actually looks like, because I'm still kind of like, I don't really know, but I'll be learning more about that throughout this year, and we'll kind of see where that takes us. Next year, my 6-year-old will be 7 and my 4-year-old will be just turning 5, and they both can do CC on community days. Right now, the little two, my 4-year-old and my 1-year-old, are in the nursery, so that will be nice too. So I might not even send my 4, who will soon be 5, who will be 5 at that point, to preschool. I don't really know. We're kind of torn on that, but if you guys do CC or have done CC and know more about like how it works when they get older, let me know in the comments. It could be really interesting for everybody watching this, but that's where I'm just kind of torn because they're two very full curriculums as they get older, and I love them both, but I'm leaning more towards Heart of Dakota. I just really love the CC Community Day. So I'm like, if there's a way I could still do both long term, I would love to, but I don't know if that's gonna work. Okay, so the next thing we really love about homeschooling, piggybacking off of that, is just the community. We have families at CC, we have families in our town, we have, you know, I'm in a book club with other moms who homeschool, and it's just been really, really wonderful to not feel so isolated. I know when I did daycare, that's pretty isolating, but I had a wonderful community for that too. But I didn't get to see them a lot because we were all stuck in our houses 50+ hours a week. So it's just been really nice to actually go be around other people. I'm definitely introverted, but once I have like built those friendships, I just thrive in those situations, and I love learning from other moms, and I love those conversations that make me really think deeply about what we believe and why we believe that and things like that. So it's been really, really wonderful to have these new friendships, and like a community around our family has been amazing. I've also really been loving the 4-ish day a week schedule. It's not quite 4 days a week, but we're doing 4 home days a week homeschooling and 1 community day. So the way I have it working right now is we do our Heart of Dakota curriculum 4 days a week. We do our Good and the Beautiful curriculum 4 days a week, and then we do CC 1 day a week. So it ends up being 5 days a week, but we're only doing at home homeschool 4 days a week, if that makes sense, because we don't do stuff on our CC day for the most part. I sometimes will do language arts and math that morning, then go to CC, and then not do language arts and math on the last day of the week, and just kind of catch up with our Heart of Dakota stuff. But that leads me into my next point. I just really love the flexibility of it. We can go at our own pace. If my kids are sick, if my kids are having a hard time, we can take a day off. We can take breaks throughout the day. We can go on field trips. We can, I mean, we are in charge, which is kind of scary, but I love control. I'm a type A person, so I just really love being able to control what we do and be flexible with it. As type A as I am, I also do like to be somewhat spontaneous and not have to, like, just because I plan that doesn't mean I have to do it. So sometimes we'll just kind of change our plans if we're feeling up for it. And that's something I just really love that we've never had the ability to do in the past. So it's just been a real blessing for our family. Okay, so not to be dramatic, but what are we hating or disliking, if you don't use the word hate in your family? Okay, so I talked about flexibility, and I talked about the 4 days a week, and I talked about being able to have freedom, more freedom, but I have not been liking our schedule. So what do I mean by this? I don't like that we basically have something every single morning, 5 days a week. When I pictured homeschooling, I pictured the slower pace and being home and like not feeling like we have to rush, and I have not been experiencing that. We basically have had to cram homeschooling in between like 7:30 and 8:30 most days because of the way everything's set up. So Mondays we like to go on a field trip, and I also run errands in the morning, or I'll do like a Target pickup, and we only have so much time before lunch and after our baby's nap, our 1-year-old's nap. So basically it's like quick homeschool, then go do that. Then on our CC day, it's quick do language arts and math, pack up our lunches, get everything ready, and then we're out the door by 8:30. 2 days a week, my 4-year-old has preschool, which is wonderful, and I love it, but also it just feels restrictive to me that she has to leave at a certain time, we have to be back at a certain time, pick her up, that kind of thing. And I don't feel that freedom because we can't just like go do something fun. We have to really plan around when she'll be home and when she won't be home. And also I don't like to plan anything very fun on those days because she's not with us. Like, I feel like she would be really left out. So we'll stick with it this year, but that's just been hard. And then 1 day a week I also have a work day where our girls go to my mom's around 9 o'clock. So we're also cramming homeschooling in the morning then too. We could potentially wait till the afternoons, but I like to get it done with. I like to check that box, and I just find that my girls are like ready by 7:30, so we just get it in, get it out, get done. But it does sometimes feel like a lot of pressure to hurry up and homeschool, which is not really the philosophy I wanted or the feeling I wanted for our homeschool. I wanted to be a little bit more gentle and unrushed, I guess. Another thing is just not having enough hours in the day. So I am homeschooling, but I'm also working, running my business. I wake up at 4, I work until 6, and then I try to work again during nap, and then I have my one work day a week, and I just feel like there's not really enough hours to do everything that I want to do, because we also have to go get groceries, and I also have to, you know, prep supper and do all the things that moms do, and it just feels like, I don't feel like I'm getting burnt out, but I'm definitely cramming more into the day than I would probably like. But I think as time goes on and we figure things out more, it'll be a little smoother. And then just the doubting. There's so much doubting that goes into whatever schooling you pick for your kids, but I think especially when you switch to homeschooling and now the responsibility is fully on you, it's a lot of pressure, and I'm just, you know, sometimes doubting, like, will she be reading where she's supposed to be reading in a year or two? Will she be on the same level as all the kids at public school? Will she still enjoy school? Will she hate being at home? Like, will we regret this one day? So I don't think about those a lot. Like, I try not to really focus on that, but those thoughts do cross my mind from time to time, which are hard. Okay, so based on what we love and what we don't love, what are we going to do differently soon or next year, depending on what they are, if we can change them now or not? The biggest thing I want to change next year is either my 4-year-old not going to preschool, which is not really what I want to choose because she loves it and she's making new friends and it's just a really fun experience for her, or sending her in the afternoon, which is a tough choice because the preschool we're currently at doesn't have an afternoon option, so we would have to switch. But I think it would work a lot better. She still naps most days, but I think in a year she probably won't be. So I think it would be the perfect time if, like, after lunch she went to preschool 2 days a week. We're already going to be home that time anyway because my 1-year-old will just be turning 2, so she'll still definitely be napping. And so it would be nice to have those 2 mornings that we don't currently have free. They could also be free to fit school in and then go do whatever we want. I think that would really give me the breathing room that I've been looking for, but it's just tricky of how to make that work. We may change language arts moving forward. I think we're going to keep with the good and the beautiful. I think it's an amazing program. I just think each child is different and what works for one may not work perfectly for the next. So we're going to keep with it and see how it goes. Today was actually kind of a breakthrough. She wasn't fighting me so much and I could just see her feeling so proud of herself, being able to read something that she really struggled with yesterday, I think just because of the lack of focus. So I think if we can just get that issue worked out a little bit, I think it will work great for us. But if you have any language arts recommendations, leave them below. I know there's explore the code, whatever, and there's like read in 100 easy lessons or something like that. I know there's lots of different ones out there, but I haven't really looked because I'm trying to just stick with what we picked, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now it's not broken, we're just acclimating to it. I also would really like to be able to take breaks during our homeschooling time right now because of the way our schedule is. Like I mentioned, we really have to, like, okay, we're gonna read, then we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this, and there hasn't been a lot of time to, like, okay, now let's just go play outside for a little bit, or go play in your room and take a break from people. I think it would help her a lot if she wasn't just cramming all of it in, if we could, like, fit different parts in different parts of the day. It's just not really manageable right now to do that, but hopefully in the future it will be. And then lastly, I just want to make it more fun. I think it's fun right now, but I would love to do more creative hands-on things. We aren't doing as much art and stuff as we used to do. It was always a huge deal to me, but I feel like I don't want to come up with any more ideas. Like, I'm just tired of thinking a lot of the time, and so I love the open and go curriculum. I just haven't been including as much just fun things that I come up with as I used to, but I think, you know, as we get used to it, hopefully those will come back. So that's everything we are loving, hating, disliking, and how we will change things moving forward. I would love to know, if you are newer to homeschooling, what, you know, your answers would be for this. What are you loving? What are you not liking so much? And what changes are you going to make? Even if you're experienced, I'm sure as your kids change, as you grow and your likes change, your homeschool will adapt as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye guys.